Guys, so we're moving to this part of the curriculum where we're going to do some ankle locks. Now this is further into our curriculum and a higher belt levels, but really people should understand ankle locks and heel hooks and leg locks right away, because seeing them and understanding them will prevent you from getting caught in them. This is going to be a fun video. Felipe is going to get to ankle lock me first. So he's going to do the ankle lock to me. And let's just start, rather than starting from an entry, let's just kind of start from the basic concept of what it looks like to be put in an ankle lock. And we'll just talk about what we're doing to the ankle. So we're going to have our forearm here is going to catch the heel, okay? Right underneath the heel, like where the Achilles tendon is, right there. Now, oftentimes when I'm moving to the ankle lock, I'll start higher up on the leg and I'll bring myself back. See that? So it comes back so I get that hook. Now if there's space there, so there's a gap there, I don't want that gap, so I'll pinch that together. Now, you know, I don't even have to grab this arm. I don't have to do that. When I first learned this move in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it was a lot of catching like this, almost like a figure four kind of lock, like kind of like an Americana style lock. I don't even know if you guys can see that on the camera there, but we don't have to grab like this. A lot of times we can take this hand and we can turn it up, so my thumb faces up, and do you feel that a little bit? It gets pretty tight. So as I turn that up like this and my forearm comes here, it really starts to dig into his tendon. And again, the space here, take the space away, right? So there's no space there. I can use this hand to lift now, and I lean back, and his foot, right here, his foot is gonna be back on my shoulder blade. And so as I lean back, his foot's going to bend this way, and then I'm lifting up here. It's a bit of a pain compliance move, but man, it's painful. The ankle locks hurt. At least they hurt me. So here we go. Felipe is going to do it right now. Come back out of the position. Okay, so now from here in this position, so Felipe, when he goes to ankle lock me, he has to make sure he's protecting his own feet. He wants to make sure that his feet are not in a position where I can ankle lock him back. And then also, he has to make sure that I can't sit up on him. So here we go. He's going to go for the lock. All right. We've been it already hurts. So we're good. Okay, so go ahead and he's going to go for the position. He's going to put the one foot here on me here like this. So that prevents me from sitting up. So if I try to sit up, he can kind of engage this foot. So I'm trying to sit up. He can't sit up, okay? Now this leg is hidden underneath me. Now there is a lot of theory about what to do with this leg. And I've submitted people lots of different ways with this. But some of the theory that we see is specifically designed for sport jiu-jitsu where you cannot grab the heel and reap the leg. So with that said, you know, he could take this leg and he could push my leg here. Oh, like this, right? Man, I've caught a lot of people leg locks like that. He could take it and he could bring it here, like this, and just not allow me to sit up on you. So it can't sit up, right? Or you can hide it. You can hide it also. If you hide it, you've got to be careful, because it's hard for you to see from this angle, but I could grab his heel and pull that heel up also. So we're always protecting our legs and making sure they can't sit up. Now from here, we're here like this. Here he squeezes his knees together. It hurts right when he squeezes his knees. He's going to turn slightly to his right, to his dominant side, just like that. If he needs to create more space, he can scoot his hip out and push me, so create a little space. When he created that little tiny micro space right there, I felt it immediately. Now, to make the submission, he's just going to lean back and slightly turn to his right, to the dominant side, and he has the submission hold. Good job. Oh, the ankle lock, man. Woo! So now I want to talk to you guys about something. You might remember this, Felipe. We had a student, Michael Ship. I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but you remember Michael. Mm-hmm. He's in this MMA fight. And Michael, he's not doing very good. It's a pro MMA fight, a big event, and his opponent is picking him up and slamming him and pounding him. Michael's getting destroyed. And then the guy goes back for an ankle lock. And out of nowhere, he just tries to catch Michael with an ankle lock. Were you there for that?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, you weren't there? Okay, so I was in his corner for this. He goes back for the ankle lock, and then he misses the lock. So now he's on his back, and Michael just sits right up and just starts pounding on him and wins the fight after he was totally losing. So one of the reasons why I put the ankle lock further in the curriculum is because you really risk a lot laying back to try it. And so there's certain times when it makes sense and certain times when it can actually hurt you to try the ankle lock. So let's talk about how we catch it from standing up right now. I'm going to get past my guard, and so he's going to fall back for the ankle lock. So go ahead, Felipe. So first he catches the ankle, obviously. Now he's going to sit back. Go ahead. All right, now from here, we're in this position right when he falls. He's going to catch this foot under my leg, and this one's going to come over the top. here, preventing me from sitting up. So I can't sit up on him, and then he can make the lock just like we showed before. Now there's many ways to do this leg position. I don't want to say endless positions, but there's so many different ways, and I've caught people in many different ways. And so what's going to happen, people are going to see the video and they're going to say, oh, well, this leg has to be this way, this leg has to be this way, this leg has to be that way. There's a lot of ways to do it, but the most important thing is you have to make sure that they can't sit up on top of you, okay? You have to make sure that they can't ankle lock you back. So we're considering those two things right now, especially here, if he was on top winning the fight, and now he falls back for the ankle lock, it's very important that I can't sit up on him and that I'm going to tap before I have the opportunity to sit up.
And we're not.
Working the ankle lock, okay? And I'm here like this. Maybe I did not catch this side of their body good enough, or they just feel like they can escape this way. And so what happens is sometimes they'll feel like they can turn to their belly to escape. So this is a mistake. Turning to your belly to escape is just going to put you in a worse ankle lock. I'm going to show it right now. So I'm here like this. He thinks he can get away by turning to his belly, so I follow him. I keep my leg that's here, goes over his leg. Go ahead and start turning to your belly, Felipe. And I follow him, and now I'm here like this. Now that I'm here, I'm not going to lift up like that. See how your foot's coming out, Felipe? I'm not going to lift up, but keeping the position the same, I'm going to just expand my knees, put my hand to the ground for base, and I'm going to put all my weight and my pressure forward on here like this. If you want to do some crazy WCW stuff, right? We also, like I've never caught anyone in that move before, but it's there. Let's see that again now.
Was that the Boston crab?
A Boston crab. Comment below if you've caught someone in that Boston crab from this position. So here we go. I start to come here. He starts to roll here. And now I'm going to submit him just like this. Now when we think about an ankle lock from like a self-defense standpoint, you know, when you're thinking of self-defense, you're not thinking of going against a high-level jiu-jitsu competitor or a high-level grappler. You can certainly catch the ankle lock from standing up. Now, I always say that the ground, it like kind of immobilizes someone, it controls somebody, prevents them from squirming so much, it creates that base. But we can hit it from standing. So Felipe's just standing right up. He's got my ankle here. Go ahead and start to lock the ankle. He can take this leg now, and he can step on my leg. And now, go ahead and ankle lock me. You don't fall back. See? So he can do it from standing. Now, I've caught a lot of people that are lower level in jiu-jitsu, like beginners. Sorry, beginners. Beginners that I ankle lock like this. But I've caught some beginner level people like this. But it just goes to show you that you can do it from standing as well. When I first saw this technique back in like 1993, I learned it from Hoist Gracie, and we learned it from standing. And so here we go. He's got it here. Same move, but now, because I'm totally going to squirm around, he's going to put his foot on me to create that pressure. Good. Standing up and I'm trying to ankle lock him. And because I'm not on the ground where we don't have as much stability, he may flip over or I might flip him over. So as we're coming, he flips over and I'm going to follow him and I'm going to come to the same ankle lock here. A really old school technique. Sometimes people see some of my really old school stuff and they think it's new school, but this is a real old school technique. And what's going to happen here, I'm in the mounted position, and we're going to catch that same ankle lock that you just saw, but we're going to catch it when our opponent is mounted on top of us. So the first thing is I'm mounted on Felipe. He's going to bump me forward to make me put my hands on the ground, and then he's going to put his hands in my armpits. Now, if this is a striking situation, I'm hitting him here like this, I'm hitting him, the bump makes me stop hitting him because I have to catch my balance and makes me put my hands on the floor. So I'm hitting him, he bumps me, ooh, and now look, he has the hands on my armpits. He's not pushing up on my chest because it's going to make an easy armbar for me and I can still hit him. But because we have this angle where I'm here, it's hard for me to hit him. It's not impossible, but it's harder for me to armbar him. But immediately, he's going to put his feet up into my armpits. There we go. He's going to push, and look at where we are. So now, sometimes we're in the ankle lock battle. He's trying to ankle lock me, I'm trying to ankle lock him. It's all bad. Oh man, this is bad stuff, right? So, how am I going to win a battle like this? Well, one thing I want to say is that if you have a little longer legs, you're going to have a little bit of an advantage, okay? So the reason why is because he has to lean further back, right? So he has to go further back. And if my legs are, because my legs are longer, if his legs are shorter, I don't have to go as far back in my lean to catch him. So I might be able to catch him first. So that's one thing that I can consider. I'm going to make my legs longer, but the most basic escape for an ankle lock is what we call put the boot on. I'm just going to bring my hands out so you guys can see. My ankle's here, and if I can extend my leg so my foot goes way out, if you can see it way back there, and my foot is flat or up, and I extend it, this to make it harder for him. I've made my leg much longer. His forearm is now on my calf muscle, and it's not on the Achilles tendon where it needs to be. And then I can start either ankle locking him back or start removing his legs to work for the top. Now, here's a little trick, is if he scoots back now, and he's about to get me, my foot has to bend for the ankle lock to work. So sometimes I can put my foot up like this. Now if he tries to ankle lock, maybe very hard, because the mat is creating a base, and he can't move the whole mat, he can't move the floor, so he can't bend my foot. So those are a few things I can do to start preventing the ankle lock. But when I'm talking about ankle locking someone it's easier for me if his legs are a little shorter. Well, I can make his legs shorter. So one trick I've done is I've taken my leg and I've made his leg shorter, see? So see, I got my leg in there, so I bent his leg. So because his leg's bent, I don't have to go back as far, right? Sometimes I can pass it over. Look at now. Now it's much shorter, right? I'll catch him first. So if he was to try to fall back now and I was to try to fall back, he's going to tap first. So that's something I can do, right? Sometimes I can start to work. If he's playing around with this leg and he's trying to kick me, sometimes I can catch this leg. Now if I have this leg way over here, I could catch a regular ankle lock like this, or I could bring my hand here and bite down on there and make a lock there. Oh, I'm sorry, Felipe, he doesn't like that. So these are some things to play around with, right? And it's really important to understand this ankle lock battle. Felipe and I were talking about this, said, man, it's a weird video for me to teach because I don't teach ankle locks a lot, but I love it when someone tries to ankle lock me because generally I'm going to catch them right back. And so it's important to understand that battle. So once again, if we're kind of in an even position here, I need to make my foot longer. So put the boot on. That's the number one thing. That's going to help you so many times. Right. Number two thing could be if he's really going to get it, and he's leaning straight back right now. If he led a little bit that way, might make this technique as not effective, but I can put my foot flat on the ground sometimes. Then he can't get me, then I can remove this leg, I can climb up, or I can ankle lock him back, right? A key is I'm creating shorter legs, right? So I want his legs to be shorter. So as he's locking me, or trying to, sometimes I can crowd myself in and bend his leg, create a shorter lock, or shorter leg. I can pass it. Now look at how short his leg is compared to mine. He's got to lean back really far. I barely have to lean back at all. I'll tap him right away. I do like it when someone's messing with me with this leg. There's a lot of variations here. This is a very simplistic variation. I'm not going to get too crazy into it. But sometimes when they're messing with me here also, I can pass this and I can start to come here. Or if this feels a little, well, I think I got it. But if it doesn't feel quite right, I can switch and come here like this for that lock. So those are a few tips and tricks you can use to ankle lock your opponent back when they're trying to catch you in the same move.